My name is Jan Potter, and my daughter is Isabel, and she's 6 years old. And I recently had the pleasure of reading Karen's book. And what I learned from the book that I didn't know before was exactly what was on these kindergarten tests. I personally had no idea or no expectation that this was going on in the schools. And I read the book at a time just before my daughter was going in to be tested for kindergarten. So of course I panicked. But after reading the book, I actually had a greater appreciation for the types of questions that they were going to be asking her, and I really understood what these questions were driving at and what the school was hoping to learn about her ability. So for me, it really opened up my eyes. I had no idea. The book also enabled me to put into action some really practical tasks and experience. So I learned how to just better engage my daughter in creative play, how to ask her leading questions that would get her to dialogue a little more with me, to expand her creative thinking, to open up her imagination, and also for her to develop some really tangible skills in the education environment. So rather than just enabling her, asking her, how was your day at school today? Which is kind of the yes-no answer, or oh, it was fine. What I was able to do was to really lead her in questions that, ask her about the letter of the day, how many words did she learn with that letter, and really get her to open up more to me, describing her day and what she had learned. But the other thing that I really took away was just how to have a fun conversation with her, how to get her to expand her mind and her imagination. The book also has an incredible resource of websites, reading materials that you can go visit. So, for example, my daughter loves Barbie. So going to the BarbieIsTheGirl.com or whatever the website is that Karen recommends was a great resource to get reading material, coloring material, things to cut out and create. So what I'm going to do now, my daughter is heading into the first grade. The book doesn't just end. Even though it's titled Testing for Kindergarten, it doesn't stop there. It just keeps you going forward and learning new techniques to continue working with your children from kindergarten and beyond. The title sort of is a misnomer, Testing for Kindergarten, if you're not going into, and actually she went to a private kindergarten, but it wasn't, you weren't being tested for admissions. You were being tested so that they could understand her level of learning and where she was at that point, so that they knew which classroom to place her in. So for me it was helpful to understand why they were testing her when it was really an open enrollment and she didn't need testing, but that's how they placed them in the classroom, and it dictated the environment and learning environment she was going to be placed in. So maybe the title is a little limiting in terms of just testing for kindergarten, but what I've been telling a lot of my friends is that it's really learning for life, and it makes you as a parent better able to engage with your child, because you always have those questions like, if I'm reading to her, should I be pointing out the words, or just are you doing a good job in helping your child learn, and how can you better do that? And so Karen's kind of taken all the thinking out of that, or the questioning out of that, because she's been there with her own children, and just by practical experience, it just gave me a better confidence that some of the things that I'm doing are in fact working and helping and developing her skills. So I felt really good about things, and then picked up a lot of new techniques which I'm looking forward to doing and spending the time to do it, because even, your kids always want your attention, right? So even if you just spend 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day with them, that undivided attention of that interaction, that play, and you make it fun, they love it.